Welcome back to Beyond the 529. In today's video, I'm going to cover the two primary types of financial aid that exist for college, how to determine if your student will be eligible for each type, and how positioning your student at the right schools is the key to maximizing your aid and paying less for college. I'm Mike Bink, founder and president of Equivest Financial Advisors. I've helped hundreds of families throughout the country develop strategies to win the game of paying for college. I can help your student pick the right schools to get as much free money as possible, maximize your family's finances to get more financial aid and scholarships, minimize your student loan debt by picking the right student loans, and pay for college as efficiently as possible to lower your costs by thousands of dollars, all while protecting your family's retirement. If you'd like to learn more about how we can help you develop a plan to implement strategies like this, please click the link in the description below to learn how you can become our client. So let's jump in and talk about the two primary types of financial aid. Type number one is merit-based aid. Merit-based aid is exactly that. It is aid that is provided by the university, normally to your student based on their academic performance and profile upon applying to the university. So merit-based aid is going to be one of the primary vehicles that a school will use to entice your student to come there in the form of the overall financial aid package. So scholarships, things like that to reward outstanding performance. That's what you're going to find with merit-based aid. So merit-based aid is going to come almost exclusively in the form of what we call gift aid or scholarships. Gift aid is the best type of financial aid because that's the type of financial aid that we don't have to pay back. As you'll see when we get into need-based aid, there are types of financial aid that a school might give that at the end of the day is ultimately still going to be cost coming out of your or your student's pocket. Type number two is need-based aid. So need-based aid is going to be awarded to those families or to those students who show financial need. Need-based aid can be awarded by the school in one of two different ways, either through gift aid, which is again scholarships and grants, money that you don't have to pay back, or in what's called self-help, which are primarily student loans and work-study programs. A lot of times schools will talk about how much financial aid they provide to their student body, when in reality a lot of that student aid and financial aid is made up of self-help or primarily student loans, which at the end of the day you have to pay back anyway. So it's not exactly the best type of financial aid, or it's not exactly like the schools are doing you a huge favor when they just let you take out and borrow more money to pay for school. What we really want to try to focus on and help you get is gift aid, again, the type of money that you don't have to pay back. Whenever you see the time to plan icon in the bottom left-hand corner of my videos, it's because those are the key areas in the college planning process for you to focus and where we help families really identify how to save thousands of dollars. So for example, evaluating the award letters at your particular universities for the differences between merit-based and need-based aid. Not all schools use the same types of formats for their financial aid packages and their financial aid award letters. So it can become a very confusing exercise to read through and try to determine apples to apples on your school list of who is providing what type of aid and whether or not you're better off going with school A or going with school B, and which one is going to give you more of the merit-based aid. So again, whenever you see that time to plan, make a special mental note that that's one key area where we need to focus to make sure that we get the best results for you. Financial need is determined using two main components. The first component is the school's cost of attendance. So the cost of attendance is going to be different at every school that you apply to, and it's going to be made up of a lot of different things. As you can see here, tuition fees, books and supplies, etc. But almost always the two primary buckets of costs are going to be tuition and fees and housing. That's where the significant majority of our cost is going to come from. The second component is your family's EFC, or expected family contribution. So make sure to check out my other videos on how to understand your EFC and how it can impact your family's financial aid, where I go into more depth on how that EFC is calculated. When it comes to lowering your family's cost of college, one of the primary ways in which we do that is through minimizing your EFC. If you'd like to learn more about some of the strategies that we use to minimize your EFC and save your family thousands on the cost of college, please make sure to click on the Become a Client link in the description below. So for need-based aid, once we have our cost of attendance, again, which is dependent upon the school, and our EFC for our family and our student, then we can determine what our financial aid need is going to be for that particular student. So a couple examples here, you can see where if college costs $50,000 and our family's EFC is $20,000, well, at that particular school, your student is going to have $30,000 worth of need. However, at a school that only costs $20,000, if your EFC is exactly the same, then that student is going to have $0 of need at that particular school. So you can see where between school A and school B, your results from a financial need standpoint and how much financial aid the school might give you to cover that need can vary significantly. So one of the things we always recommend to families, and what we help them identify as early on in high school as possible, is to know before you go. So ultimately, come up with that cost of attendance and your expected family contribution so you know what your student's need is going to be years in advance and you can effectively plan for it. Most families focus on the negative when it comes to having multiple kids in school, and that multiple kids means multiple tuition bills coming in at the same time. However, if we've done our due diligence ahead of time and we've put a comprehensive plan in place, this can actually be an opportunity to lower your overall costs. If you still have questions about the difference between need-based and merit-based aid, please add them in the comment section below. If you're interested in more tips and videos to help you master the college funding process, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel by clicking the buttons below. If you're interested in learning more about becoming a client and letting us help you develop a plan to save thousands on the cost of college, please make sure to click on the link in the description below. Thank you, and good luck going beyond the 529.